Yeah, it's kind of a neat story. You know, it's something that it's been going on for 70, 80, 90 plus years. Shit. I think the original story actually was, I think it was like 1910, 1912, somewhere in there.
A whole century.
Whole century. Yeah.
Big boy.
At first, the original story, and to kind of include the viewers in this as well, you know how every city kind of has their ghost story, their little thing that they go to. You hear about, you know, like the bloody hook on the car, and that just went everywhere.
Good old scary stories.
Good old scary stories. Good old like kind of urban legends.
Yep, urban legend. That's the word I was looking for. That's perfect.
For us, we have one called the White Lady of Wapsie.
Ooh.
Woo.
The White Lady.
White women are terrifying.
That is factual. Very big facts. Not small facts, big facts. Scary.
So the story goes that some years ago, the husband was off to war, fighting for our country, and the woman, she was waiting for her husband to get back, and she was wearing a white wedding dress. So she was sitting inside of the train station waiting for her husband to come back.
All sexy like.
Husband passed away somewhere along the lines. The story goes that it was a railroad accident. So a train went off the rails, he passed away, and the woman was left sitting there waiting for her husband, and she refused to leave. She went through this own kind of depression. There's another word that I'm looking for.
Sort of like just denial.
Yeah,
denied. Like, he's alive.
Psychosis is the word that I was looking for. Psychosis.
Oh, fancy.
She went through a psychosis. Words. And she sat there. She wouldn't leave. People were explaining, ma'am, your husband died. You have to go eventually.
No, he's alive. I know it.
She sat there. She starved to death. And supposedly, on that mountain that she was waiting for her husband on, she walks up and down that mountain looking for her husband to eventually return. Therefore, will never find him. Now, there's stories like, you know, people going up to the mountain, going up to the lookout, and finding handprints on the back of the car, things like that. Now, where we're going with this story is me and
There's a
Damien
point to this. You're sitting there wondering, what are they talking about? Scary stories.
This is fucking stupid.
This is dumb. I already turned off the video and disliked. Where are we going with
The
this,
point that
Nate?
we're going with it.
Yeah.
We were working on the podcast two nights ago.
A couple nights ago.
I accidentally deleted what we were working on.
Yeah.
Damien recorded over what we were doing.
That was a big dumb by me. My bad. We had a good story too. I'm fucking pissed I did that, but yeah, I screwed up. My bad.
So we were sad about it, and we kind of thought, you know what? We had a shit night. We're going to go out. We'll maybe take some pictures, record some shit. Yeah. We'll go from there, see if we can find any new stories to do.
Yeah, I'm going to put up the pictures, and we're going to show you some of the stuff we were looking at. So first off, we got some pretty good pictures, but I do say so myself, for a couple of amateur photographers with a pretty cool camera.
Late at night with both of us shaking.
Yeah.
Scared. But
so we went to first this old landmark of ours near our city. So supposedly this place is haunted AF, as the kids would say. Haunted as hell. This place it's actually like a big tourist attraction now for the town. People come to the mansion. They'll go in there. They have, like, during Halloween, they'll have, like, creepy people dressed up as shit in, like, old-timey clothes, and they'll tell ghost stories. I think one year I went there, and they did a Christmas Carol, like a live-action version. Yep. And I was like, shit. So, yeah, they do a lot of, like, spooky ghost shit. And Nate and I were taking pictures, and if you look at some of the pictures, for those of you who do believe in the supernatural, there's a bunch of orbs in the pictures. Now, I think that's a bunch of malarkey. But Nate was kind of like, oh shit, orbs. And I'm like, great, ghost. Yeah, sure.
It's not really that I believe in that stuff, but there's still kind of that childish mindset that I can have sometimes where I almost want to believe in it just because I think it's kind of cool. It's neat to see that kind of stuff. Yeah. Think about what could have happened in the past and what still maybe possibly could be there.
Maybe. But probably not.
Maybe.
I don't think so. I'm the doubter.
We were taking pictures of that.
Doubting Thomas.
Yeah. It's my confirmation name.
Yeah, it was.
We decided to go to this other landmark, the White Lady of Wapsie that we were telling you about.
Yeah.
And there's this tunnel before you actually get up to the landmark. We thought we'd walk back to this tunnel, maybe snap a few shots of that. And there was a big rainstorm that came through. Maybe, video some of the water going over the ledge.
Right.
And into the creek.
crick, creek,
The
shit,
crickety crick.
crickety crack, crack, cricket'll stickle like a blue. Yeah, so as you're seeing right now, this thing is fucking terrifying right now where we're at. Like, we get out of the car, we're there, and immediately Nate and I are just like, oh, this is spooky as shit. Now, I've been back there before in the daylight, and it's fine, you know, it's just a normal place to be. At night, however, it is something fucking else. It is a long-ass road that leads to that damn tunnel, off the fucking street. My car is parked, and we're walking down this thing. Nate's got the camera, he's got his phone out, and I keep turning back, and every time I turn back, the car, which is on, because I was like, I don't know, I'll just leave it on, because, you know, I'm a little spooked, I need some light. And the light keeps getting smaller and smaller. I'm like, holy shit, we're going in deep. I don't remember this.
Right. And in the daylight, too, it really doesn't feel far whatsoever, but you go at night, you can't see anything. There's no landmarks. There's no lights nearby. It's just seemingly endless. We have our phones out.
Yeah.
And occasionally, I'm just taking pictures. And I'll be entirely honest with you, I didn't have any intention of taking pictures until we actually got to the tunnel.
Yeah.
The only reason why I was taking pictures is because my own paranoia was coming through.
Yeah.
I thought I'd take a few shots with the flash on, make sure there's nothing in front of me because the phone wasn't really traveling that far.
Yeah, shitty phone camera.
Yeah.
Light shit, yeah.
So we're not seeing anything, and I kind of want to go back into the history of what this place is and kind of where we live. Around where we are, there's some kind of race relation issue.
Yeah.
That's the kindest way that I can put it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's, yeah. I'm sure you know what we're talking about.
Yeah. But there used to be members of the KKK that would travel into our city, and they would have their meetings, Klan rallies, things like that. Now, the place that we were going to, at the base of this mountain, that's where all that used to happen, which kind of even pushed our paranoia over the edge a little bit further.
We're freaking out, like, oh, this has got some... It's like literally some real ghosts, historical ghosts. More demons, you could describe them, as the heinous shit. Because, you know, the Clown Klux Klan are a bunch of cunt bags, in my opinion. I think we should definitely say the Ku Klux Klan are awful people, and they are all terrible. Fuck you, KKK, if you're listening.
I wasn't going to say that, just purely for the fact that it's something that... It's 2019, it should be obvious that they're not a good group.
No, not at all.
But we start walking back further, and we're not really hearing anything. You know, we're kind of just talking to one another. And then, all of a sudden, everything gets quiet. We stop moving. And I think we're both kind of thinking, it's not something that we were saying out loud, but we were just thinking, should we go further? Should we stop right here? Maybe should we turn around?
Yeah.
And we noticed up in the distance, the part of it that was kind of odd was that this tree had fallen down and you can't see beyond it.
Yeah.
So it essentially just stops right there. You can't see it. There's someone behind you, even with the flash on the camera that we were using.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we hear this blood-curdling scream come from, I would probably put it about, 70, 80 feet away from us.
Around there.
Fairly close.
Yeah.
Fairly close to us.
Too close for comfort, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we turn around.
Yeah.
I turn around and I see Damien running.
Yeah. I was more speed walking, but yeah, I was about ready to go full dead sprint after I heard that. I was like, nope, and both of us turned the fuck around. We're like, nope, and I was kind of moving. Nope, get the fuck out of there.
So we start running back.
We start getting back. Well, we start speed walking because, like, you know, it's muddy as shit, and it was like, just don't run, it'll make it worse. I'm like, okay. So we're speed walking like fucking, you know, soccer moms taking a goddamn hike around a fucking track or something. Like, you know how mom...
Olympic speed walking.
40, 50-year-old moms, how they fucking...
He's gonna be late for practice.
Oh, yeah, I gotta make sure I get my legs. My hips gotta be ready. But yeah, so that we're getting back there. And we just see the car lights are still on. We're just like, we need to make it back. It's getting bigger. It's getting closer. We're almost there. Finally, we get close to the car. Nate gets in the car. He drives. I get in the passenger seat. And we just peel the fuck out. Made it. Survived.
And this is one of those stories that nothing specifically happened. No one came to us. No one confronted us. But it's one of those things that I'm into macabre stuff. I think anything that's macabre, anything that's gory, horror, that's my thing. I really enjoy stuff like that. And just the paranoia of what was going on, the fact that the car was running the whole time, we had the one window down the whole entire time.
Yeah.
Because Damien left the car on, I thought, I don't want to get locked out, we'll put the window down.
Yeah, good.
So
good call.
as we're driving down this road, that once again, entirely black, you can't really see anything. You're just envisioning something coming up from behind you. You're envisioning the fingerprints on the doors.
Yeah, we're terrified. We're freaking out. We're sitting there. We're just chill. Because, like, so back to the sort of the thing we mentioned with the clan earlier. Nate, what would you describe the yell? What would you say the scream sounded like?
Sounded more like a rebel yell.
Yeah, that's why we brought that up.
Sounded like a rebel yell.
It sounded like a rebel yell. It didn't sound like a word. It was just, the rebel fucking yell.
Yeah. But screaming it.
Now, it could have been other things. It could have been just kids on drugs back there that just saw us, flashing lights, and they're like, oh, we don't want them come back here. But whoever it was, we kind of have the idea that it was people that, if we kept moving forward, there had been problems, and they were just like...
And really, above all else, it didn't seem like it was... You can tell by the yell itself, they weren't scared.
No.
And that's the part that really drove fear into us, is because we can tell they're not scared, they're doing this to be confrontational.
Yeah.
This is their way of saying, hey, if you don't fuck off, something's going to go down.
Oh, yeah. Shit's about to go sideways if you don't leave. And I remember thinking, like, looking back on it now, it's like, there have been times I've thought, like, what would I do if I were in, like, a really bad situation? Like, say if I was in, like, a city and I was with someone and we're walking alone and all of a sudden we get mugged. I always used to think, like, oh, maybe I could stand up to this guy. I bet I could be a dude who would be like, no, you're not taking our wallets, fuckface. After that little fucking spat, I'm like, no, I'd probably roll on the ground and just let him steal my money. Like, here, take my wallet.
For the love of God, don't
hurt me. Here are my shoes. Here are my car keys. Here's everything.
He doesn't even take you. Start throwing shit at him.
I just start throwing shit. Just like, here, take it all. Please don't mug me. Here, whoever's with me, you take them first. Let me live. Yeah, I'm a coward. I've known that now. So yeah, I learned that, and that's not a fun thing to learn. So that fucking sucks.
Once again, too, even as far as like the KKK rallies and things like that, it's not even as far as the White Lady Wobsy, and you hear stories like that.
Yeah,
that's fiction. You hear that stuff. It might be true. It might not be true. That's why it's an urban legend. But stuff with like the KKK rally, for example, you go back there. I've actually gone back in the day with certain friends, and you would find burned down crosses. You would find direct evidence of, hey, this is happening in your city, which is just by itself terrifying. The fact that that amount of hatred can still be somewhere. And then you hear that at night, and it just adds on a whole other layer for it. So
it could be, who knows? It's just, you have all these horror stories and legends and real life shit, and just it all comes to you at once, and it's just, fight or flight, and we were just like, yeah, let's fly. Let's get the fuck out of there. So this is what we will say about this. This is a lesson to be learned. It's fun to go do shit and try to be adventurous. Don't do shit that's gonna get yourselves hurt, though. Be smart. No, because you never know. Like, that could have been a fucking animal. We think it was a human noise, so we don't think so. It could have been an animal. Could have been nothing. It could have been our fucking imaginations. Or there could have been someone back there who had the ability to do us harm and was just like, I'll give them a warning. And we took the warning and got the fuck out. If you're ever in a situation like that, there's no guarantee that you'll get a warning. And shit could go sideways. Like, so, this is just, I guess, the sloppily put together message is, don't be dumb. Don't be big dumb. Be big smart. Don't do anything that'll fuck up your life. And maybe you'll live longer, I guess. Yeah. What do you think, Nate?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I feel bad that's the only thing that I can say.
Yeah, that's basically all we can say. So yeah, I guess anyone who's listening, I
was thinking of the old saying of either life is short or live fast, die young. The only thing that I can really say is life is short. Why are you going to die young?
Facts.
I don't get it.
Do not die young.
If you have time.
Live long.
And we're not saying that to... You fucking...
Spock.
We're not saying that as something of, hey, don't go have fun, because I'll be honest with you, and some that you'll see just as we record more and more and you start listening to us and understanding, who we actually are and what we do, what we stand for, is who we are as human beings. You'll see, especially with me, I will put myself in situations like that. Sometimes a lot worse.
Oh boy.
Just because the story themselves is something that you can always have. You know, I think everyone gets caught up in the moment of having to have a picture, having to record something. And we're guilty of it. You know, we're on a fucking podcast right now.
Yeah.
But it's always good to remember to just live in the moment, enjoy your life. Because whenever you do die, whenever you do pass on, it's not going to be pictures, it's not going to be photo albums that keep you alive. It's going to be all those memories that keep you alive that you pass down to other people. And I think that's half the reason why we do the podcast. So people can see it, they can hear about it, and maybe we can live a little bit longer than what our physical bodies do. We can keep going through time. Don't cry. It's not worth it.
No, I
It's
know
not
I
worth
have
it.
a heart. Because it's breaking. 2 movie references. You're going to get more of those. So anyway, on that lovely note, I'm going to ask you, what story do you have, our very few listeners? What story do you have that at the time was like, shit, I'm going to die, but looking back on it is a pretty good memory and a good story to tell? Leave us a comment, and, you know, remember, like, share, subscribe, yada, yada, yada. Please watch. Please, please, please watch. And,
We're not desperate, we promise.
no, we're not desperate. I'll suck your dick for views! Bye, Felicia.